How's it going, guys? Andy here, and in this video I just wanted to show you guys the best strumming exercise that I know of, bar none. This exercise is going to show you how to go from strumming on the beat to strumming 8th strumming, where we split the bar into 8, to doing 16th strumming, where we split a bar into 16. If you've never heard those terms before, this could be really useful to pinpoint what level you're at with strumming. Most of my beginners course is based on 8th strumming, and most of the higher lessons beyond that and from the end of the beginners course tend to be based on 16th strumming, so it's a good idea to gauge where you're at. So if we just pick the E major chord just to begin with, and we're going to start off by strumming on the beat to a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to be gentle with your pick, and I do advise that you use a pick for this exercise, specifically because we're going to be doing some up strums as well. You want to hold your pick between the thumb and the first finger and have the most pointy side pointing in at the sound hole of your guitar, or your pickups if you're using an electric guitar. And we're going to strum 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that count of 4 is 1 bar, so I just played for 2 bars. Really simple, but let's just do that together first of all, just so that everyone can do this section, and then we'll make it harder straight after. So play along to me in 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And pause, and you can do that by laying your hand over your strings like this. Look at your guitar for a second. Is it sliding down your knee like this? If it is, that is really bad technique, and we're not having the correct angle, and you're obviously not holding your guitar correctly to be able to play and pick it right. So you're going to have to wedge it right in at your hip, and I'm also a big fan of raising the right leg on something. So these days, because I've been practicing my fingerstyle quite a bit, I have one of these things, which is a footrest. It cost me £6 on Amazon, and I now use it for all my videos. I really dig it. You don't have to. There's no affiliate link or anything. I just really advise using it because I've had a lot of good results with it. So the next part of this is going straight for 8th strumming. And importantly, we're going to do this with all down strums. This isn't just to make it easier. This is so we're getting your hand moving a little bit quicker and getting used to the way that that feels. So we're going to be strumming 8 times per bar with down strums. So this should sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it goes to that count. I'm creating this deadened sound by laying my fingers over the strings just really lightly. If I press down too hard, I get a sound. That way we can focus on what the pick's doing. So here we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if we just go for that, we're going to do that twice. So do 2 bars of this as an example. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do that together now in 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again pause. Now we're going to go from the first strumming pattern that we did to the second strumming pattern. So your hand has to speed up. It essentially plays twice as fast for the 8th strumming, but we have to count the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I will show you why in a second. We're going to go for now 1, 2, 3, 4, do that again, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, and then if we can, go back to strumming on the beat. Nice and light. Let the guitar do the work. We don't want this happening. We're just going to strum in a nice relaxed fashion. Okay? So join in with me. 2 bars of on the beat, 2 bars of 8th strumming. In 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 2. Now 8s. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and back to on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 8s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 back to on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Last time. 8s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and back to the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and pause there. Really good if you could keep up with that, especially if you're new to guitar. That's fantastic. One thing that I like to teach my students at this stage is to tap their foot. So I'm right-handed, so I strum with my right hand, so I'm going to tap my left foot so that the guitar doesn't bounce all over the place. And we're always going to just tap your foot on the beat. That's all we're going to do. But that can be very tricky for some people. It suddenly feels like patting your head, rubbing your tummy. You know, it feels like you're a drummer all of a sudden because your feet are going. But it's so important to keep and to train what we call your internal timing and get this count of 1, 2, 3, 4 out of your head and into your feet, into your body, so that you feel it and you know when to change and you know where the beat is, rather than having to count it, which I think for some people may be a bit of a relief if you're always counting the beat all the time. So my left foot is going tap, 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 tap. Easy with the 4th strumming. With the 8th strumming, tap, 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 foot, foot, foot. Okay, that's when my foot is hitting the floor and I'm doing it with my heel. And that's what we're going to go for now, just as a bit of fun. Let's give it a go. Super, super helpful. So ready to strum on the beat and in 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Foot, foot. And now to the 8s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and foot, foot. Back to on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Foot, foot, back to 8s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and pause there. So for some of you, that may have been easy and well done. For some of you, that may have been really tricky and everything kind of falls apart. If that's the case, check out this video, which is totally free. It's from my beginner's course, and that will have all the help that you need. But we're going to move on now, and we're going to look at something called 16th strumming. So we're going to split a bar into 16 strums, and we're always going to do that with down and up strums. Why? Because it's more economical. But because we did the 8th strums on a downstroke, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we don't now have to move your hand any faster. You're already going fast enough. Must be pretty cool to know that you're already pretty fast at guitar, right? So we're going to just catch the up strums that you're already doing in this fashion. To a count of 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, but if we accent, so if we play louder, the count or the beat, so just the 1, 2, 3, 4, we get this kind of pulse of 4. And that pulse, like we did with our foot tapping a second ago, that keeps the count for us. It keeps the rhythm for us and allows us to know where we are. And as we get better, we can move where that beat is to make it more syncopated, to make it sound cooler, basically. But what we're going to go for now is just the 16th strumming on its own, and we're going to go 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. And as long as you have that slightly louder strum, you don't have to count because you'll know exactly where it is, and you can just listen to my count to know that you're doing it correct and to know where you are. So it should sound like, just with that E chord again. And to get that accent to sound really natural, we don't really play that one any louder, the loud one any louder. We have to play the other ones quieter. So hold back, be a little quieter, let the guitar do the work. And it will sound a lot more natural and sound a lot better. So we're going to go for just one more time. Down, up, accent. To a count of 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So let's just go for that now to make sure it's something that we can do. In 1, 2, 3E and a 4E and a 1E, 2, 3, 4. Join in if you haven't already. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And pause there, one strum. Now, if you're dropping your pick all the time and it's getting annoying, it is totally fine at this stage to hold your pick with 2 fingers rather than 1, especially if it's, making you not want to do this anymore. We're going to be working towards holding your pick like this, so on the side of your first finger and having your thumb on top, so that when we're picking some single strings, we're moving over strings in a nice, accurate and correct fashion. However, if you're dropping your pick all the time, it's really annoying. I understand. So 2 fingers on the top is totally fine, just for now, just to give it that little bit extra contact. However, we really want to be working towards having your pick on the side of the first finger and having the other fingers just in like this, just so that our pick is on the right angle and we can be as accurate as possible. Brilliant. So we're now going to go for that same 16th strumming, but I want us to try and tap your foot on the accent. I was going to say my left foot, but it's whichever side you're not strumming with, so the guitar stays still. So the foot is going to be going tap, 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 foot, 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 foot. That's what we're going to go for now, and then we've got one more exercise to finish this video after that. So let's go for the 16th strumming again with foot tapping and without dropping our pick. Fingers crossed. 3, 4 and a 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4 and a foot, foot, foot. Nice and light. Let the guitar do the work, but try not to drop your pick, and then you know you're doing it right. 1, 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and pause there. So hopefully you could get your foot tapping with that. Another great thing to do is try this with changing chords while keeping that same foot tapping going. Again, that's a really good exercise. But what we're going to go for now, just to sort of solidify this lesson and where we started from, is go from on the beat to 8th strumming to 16th strumming and then back while keeping your foot tapping. This is going to be the real acid test, guys. This is going to show you exactly, possibly how far you've come, but also exactly where you need to put the work in, okay, at which part. So, just as a recap, on the beat, and my foot is tapping every time I strum. And we do 8 strumming, 1 and 2 and 3, and my foot just taps, tap, 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 tap. So that would sound like, for 1 bar, foot, foot, foot. Okay, and then we did 16th strumming. And again, you're going to have to hold back on the strumming just so that you can play along with me and join into this video. Possibly put headphones in, especially if you're watching on mobile. You'll be able to hear me really clearly, and then you'll know whether you're in time and doing it correctly or not. So let's do this together, starting on the beat, just staying on the E major chord. And we're going to go in 1, 2, on the beat. 1, 2. And your foot's tapping, foot, foot. Now to 8s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. Now 16s, here we go. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 8s. 8 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Tap and back to on the beat. Tap, tap, tap. And there, if your foot has stopped, just keep playing on the beat with me. If your foot has stopped, when we go on the beat is where to get it going again. So foot, 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 foot with the strum. Okay? And we're going to go back to 8s in 1, 2, 3, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and down, 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 down. Stay on 8s for a little bit. Foot, 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 foot. Now 16ths. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E, and back to 8s. 8 and 2 and 3 and 4, and back to the beat. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and end on one strum. And there we go. That is the best strumming exercise that I know of, bar none. Again, we weren't changing chords there, so if you're doing this sort of thing with a chord sequence, it presents its own challenges. But there you can see the difference between splitting a bar into 4, splitting a bar into 8, and then into 16ths. And from there, we can miss out strums, and that's how we create really any rhythm on guitar and do any strumming pattern, but it's based on one of those movements. And importantly, when we were doing 8 strums on down strums, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and your hand didn't have to move any quicker to do 16ths. So that 8th strumming all down is a bit of a gateway to the 16th strumming. And if you want to know more about that and this lesson in general, you can check out the free lessons from my strumming course, which take an absolute beginner right up to, you know, this 16th strumming level. And it's all on my website. The link should be on the screen now, and there'll be ones up here if you're watching anywhere else, or up or below wherever I end up putting this video. But thank you very much for checking out this video. I hope that really helps you, and I'll see you in another one of my videos if you subscribe.